Do you want me to?
I would, yeah. Do your intro again.
Right.
Because honestly, it got
I'm already
really
knackered.
got really interrupted then by that
Knackered.
fucking mad knocker.
Right, hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives. We're back with the one, the only, the infamous, the annoying Lesbo Lauren. It's going to be a very chaotic episode today.
Well, maybe from you, not from me.
Because of some scheduling conflicts. We've not planned this.
Yeah.
But that's when we're the best. When we're put on the spot, when we're going off piece. That's how we spin ideas off
Thrive
each other.
under pressure.
We do. And I just walked down the stairs and I went, Lauren, you look stunning today. And she went, yeah, I do. What the fuck do you look like?
Well, yeah, because you've just flown in from Dubai.
I have.
And you're in an unmatching set of joggers that are bobbled. That, you know, one of them cutters that you need to cut off the bobbles. I'm going to get you one of them from Amazon. Because honestly, I can see them from here.
Bobbles?
Yeah, do you know
Lauren,
them?
right.
You know them bobble cutters? Does everybody know what they are?
Yes, I do. I've seen them. And
Well,
of
I think you
course,
should get one.
Right. All right, then. Well, today's episode is actually going to be about the world of dating, which is a world that you and I have very much experienced, isn't it? We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows. And I've actually dated men as well.
So have I.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Gary, Craig.
No, Craig's my best friend.
Oh, who was your first
Who
boyfriend?
the fuck is Gary? And honestly, the fact that, do you know what's also mad? Let's talk about that actually before we go anywhere, that everybody listening will understand this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out with someone because of the name.
Why? What, if someone had a bad name, you'd just say absolutely no?
100%.
You're joking.
Right. If someone was really great, they looked stunning, they said hello to you, they were chatting to you and you went, what's your name? And they went, Sharon.
I have an ex-boyfriend called Gilroy.
Yeah, Gilroy's not a bad name, but if they were like, my name's Sharon, Karen.
Yeah, you wouldn't shag a Karen.
I think somebody's name can be attractive.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think mine is?
Tessa, no, it sounds like a bunny rabbit. So no.
Right.
I wouldn't go out with a Tessa personally.
Would you not?
No.
I wouldn't be friends with a Lauren.
Well, but Lauren's
So
quite
then-
Lauren's an
Sorted.
actual like level name.
Right, all right. Of course your name's the best.
No, I'm just saying I would not go out with someone because of a name.
Right, okay.
But you were saying, so you've dated both ends of the spectrum, so you've dated
Men. I've
And
dated
women.
women. And I've dated goons and gorgeous. I've
Yeah.
dated all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's
You've-
actually very, very true.
You've only dated gorgeous.
Yeah.
But you have dated some toxic. That's
Well, I
French
wouldn't-
for toxic.
No, I think that, well, everybody thinks their ex is toxic, don't they?
No.
Oh, I think that's, I don't know.
I think mine's lovely.
Do you?
Yeah, some of mine are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're all sound in their own ways, but,
Yeah.
you know, they are what they are.
But this was an episode basically to give our tips, tricks, insights to basically the world of dating from two juxtaposing ends of the spectrum, because like
From the Premiership to the Coca-Cola, yeah.
friends the Coke. Friends
Yeah.
the Coke. No, I actually meant more like I'm somebody that like dwells in dating apps.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
absolutely
be
not.
fucking seen dead on a dating app. You've never been on one.
No.
People are drawn to you because of your technically good physique and physical.
Technically good physique, nothing to do with my personality.
Your personality's nice as well, but I think it takes a strong person to take you on.
Yeah, I also think, well,
Mentally
yeah.
strong, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get told about yourself, and if you don't like it, the door's there.
The thing is about the telling people about themselves is that sometimes people don't want to be told about themselves. Like, I don't ask all the time, and you're like, listen, let me tell you this. And I'm like,
Yeah, because, I come from my mother, Janice, and obviously you've met Jan.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
she is scarier than me.
Yeah, she is.
That basically, you act very, like, nonchalant, very cool, together. You look like you own the place. And if you ever give off any vibe that isn't the case, nah.
Right, not for you.
No, it's not for me. Janice would be like, what are you doing?
Ah.
Don't ever be seen being a goon. What are you doing? That's ridiculous.
Right.
Or don't walk like that.
Yeah.
Don't talk like that.
Which is ironic because then, of course, we've got your brother.
Our Scott. Honestly, Scott got the brains in our family and me and Francesca got the fire, is what happened.
I'm being so tight. Lauren's brother is so lovely, but I remember the first time I met him and I was like, your brother's not like you. She was like, yeah, because he's a goon and I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He's nothing like me.
But maybe we should start off by talking about the differences between lesbian dating
Yeah.
and straight dating. So for people that don't know out there, like the general jokes about lesbian pop culture is that everyone moves at like 100 miles an hour. Everyone moves in with each other after like a month.
Yeah.
Everything's like super, super intense. Have you experienced that in your past?
I've actually never lived with a partner.
Never.
No.
Oh.
Always had like, well, I've travelled a lot with work.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm like them person that's like, there's certain things and sort of like my sort of relationships have always been that I'm very like work away. And I've always been very much, and my mum's brought me up. And luckily the partner I was with like for a long period of time was like that you have yours and I have mine and we both make sure we're stable and then we come together in the end. And
Is that something that you stand by now?
Yeah.
You wouldn't ever alter
I would
your
live
life?
with someone
Yeah.
100%, but I think that you should absolutely have your stuff. Like you should have yours that own it, because I feel like, I just think as a woman especially, that like usually men do have it together and they're always fine, and women sort of can fall apart and get a bit emotional, and I can be that.
I'm very emotional.
Yeah, but then if you have the things that you need to survive, like a house and a car and all them things, it just takes a lot of the stress
You're
away.
actually so much more like matter of fact about relationships than I'm just like, love is all we need.
Yeah, you literally... You can meet someone, speak to someone, and that is like, but I just said before.
No, I'm a committed person in a relationship,
committed.
even when it's the wrong person for me.
Yeah,
is what I will say.
But you're great energy when you're in that space.
What, when I'm in like a positive relationship?
Or even starting or speaking to someone, you love getting to know people, and that always puts you in a really good space. Whereas I'm a bit more like, I don't really get to know anybody.
Do you know what I think the difference is that I'm nice to people until they give me a reason not to be, and you're not nice to anyone until they give you a reason to be. People have to earn your friendship or your time.
I don't really entertain people.
Yeah.
Don't do dating apps, as we know. Oh my God, I refuse to put myself on sale.
Do you?
Oh my God, yeah.
So how do you find dates? Okay, for people that also might cringe at going on dating apps, how would you find a date then?
I don't know, because I don't really date.
You don't really drink either. So like, you don't go to the club.
I think that the people I've been with, I've met usually organically out, never in the gym.
Really?
Yeah, never in the gym.
'Cause that's your mecca.
Yes, out in like normal, like that. I say public settings as if you can't meet, like as in out and about.
Coffee shop
or out in a nightclub, and I've just met them.
Do people ever approach you just because of like you're looking woof? Like, do they come up to you like, "Hi, really awkward, can I have your number?"
Yeah, but not. I don't know. I have this energy that just, I think it just says fuck off. But also that's me, because I'm also I have standards where like, I believe that certain women, that when you have these things of boundaries where over the years, because of sometimes not having boundaries, I've now got boundaries where I'm like, unless you're going to give me 200%, unless you're going to look after yourself, unless you're going to have a backbone, unless you're going to meet me halfway, unless it's going to be truthful and honest, there is absolutely no entertaining from me whatsoever.
But you've only got to that space based on your like experiences.
Yeah.
And you like some of them were traumatic, weren't they? Like we've talked about that 100 times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're gonna make me edit this bit out, but like you've had experiences dating women that aren't gay.
Yeah.
And they've been like, no, yeah, I will be gay for you. And then have been like, actually, no, I'm over there still. And that's been hard.
I think the common thing for dating is, and the one thing that hit me the most, and I remember a friend of it saying it to me a long, long time ago, was if somebody really wants to, they fucking will.
Yeah.
And that should be the bottom line in any approach to dating.
Yeah.
That I have learned over the years. And it's more the fact that I've just got the backbone to uphold it now. I've just got the backbone. And people say I'm harsh, or like we have a joke where I've got no emotion towards it, or I'm very matter of fact. And it's just because I've got the backbone to uphold that, where not a lot of people have, to go, actually, if I was with someone or speaking to someone, I doubted them, that would be it.
Yeah.
I would not even entertain it. So now I don't, I've not spoke to anybody, I've not entertained it, it's not been a thing, because I'm just like, I know.
Because that is quite a common thing in the lesbian world, as in like what I've just said that you've experienced in your past, as in like straight baiting, it's called, isn't it? Where like a woman with a boyfriend or whatever kind of wants to dip their toe in the pool and then decides against it. And I've got other gay friends that have experienced that type of thing. You don't get that in the straight dating world, but you would get that in the lesbo world. I just think
being with a woman feels so different to being with a man. And I think some people aren't necessarily gay, they just get addicted to a feeling.
I agree. And I completely agree.
Like, I think being, like, talking to the gay women on here, you'll understand what it feels like to be with a woman. It's magical, it's intense, it's different with every woman, feels different, there's a different energy. And then, like, you can meet people that feel like out of this world to you because it's a certain chemistry between two women. However, when you're straight, you can have that chemistry with a man, you can be it, but I'm telling you now, it doesn't feel the same when you're with a woman.
Right, so this is, people ask me all the time, because obviously I was a late bloomer to the coming out of the closet party. Yeah. People ask me all the time and they're like, could you go back to like being with a man? And I'm like, getting with a man wouldn't repulse me. I've done it I was about to say I've done it 100 times. I haven't done it that many times. I've done it a few times. Yeah, I've been with men, etc. I've had good connections with men. Like, I mean, Jack, who I've had on the podcast, like he's one of my best friends. We have a really, really good connection. But I think I used to struggle to differentiate like just having a bit of a bond and banter with somebody for feelings. Because now I've had genuine feelings with a woman. Everything with a man feels very on the surface, and I'm like, ha ha ha, you know, rub on the head, buddy.
I think, do you know what it is for me that I said, like, I've been with men and I've been with women. I was with men a long, long time ago, like, God, Jesus, like 12 years ago now. That genuinely, I would say, I think men are amazing. I love them. I think they're great. I've had some really nice connections with some people, like, over the year. I had a boyfriend before I came out. And
I have as well.
But I prefer women. Like, it's not a...
It's more the mental connection for me, though, with a woman. Like, the physical, yes, is fit, but, like, I don't know. I always use this example, right, was in, this was one of my light bulb moments. I remember I was going out with an ex-boyfriend of mine and I was saying to him one day, like, God, I just feel like really anxious today. And he was like, oh, listen, don't worry so much, all right? Don't worry about it. And I thought, is that literally all you're going to fucking say to me? I thought, oh my God, yeah, oh sorry, now you've said that I am cured of anxiety.
And then we've had this conversation because I don't struggle with anxiety.
I do.
I don't stress about things. I will sort it out. I don't have any fear that I will sort it out, or I will know someone that can sort it. Whereas you are the other end of the spectrum. And then in dating, that can really affect you, can't it?
Yeah.
That you're like...
I like to be supported by my partner, yeah. Whereas you're like, I don't need any support. If you're here, that's great. If you're not, that's fine. Whereas I'm like, I want that support. So with the first time I had a girl, in fact, it wasn't my first girlfriend because she was scary. The second girlfriend that I had, I remember saying like the same thing as in like, you know, I just feel anxious. And she'd be like, come and sit down. Like, right, let's look at the root of why you might be feeling anxious. And I was like, oh, I feel seen.
I know, but I think that with my partners, and I think both, I will be that, but then there's too much. Get your shit together.
And why are you so against dating apps, just out of curiosity?
Are we swinging back to the dating apps?
Well, sorry,
do you know what it is?
I'm trying to give it context.
You know, so I do you know what? Honestly, I've never even considered them because I've thought, one, I've never needed to, and I don't mean that as in like I've been with a lot of people because I haven't been with a lot of people.
No, I thought you meant that as like I've not needed to.
No, I think that like my energy and the way that I am, and if I want someone, I would let them know that I did. Like,
are you quite direct if you like somebody?
No, I'm not direct. There's just, I've believed that every person that I've been with or anybody that I think there's been an energy between them.
Right.
And then if there's ever not been an energy and I've tried to be a bit like, let me, you know, people are like, oh, you know, because I was with someone for quite a long time, or like, you know, in this situation that when people have been like, come on now, time to date someone else, let's try something new. And then I try it and I think, oh my God, this feels awful. Well, it's just weird. There's no chemistry. There's no energy. The things that I'm used to and understand to be what dating is and should be and being with someone.
Yeah.
And then that must what normal people feel like. Just...
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you force yourself to go out with someone? Or why would you doubt someone? Or why would you not feel 100% like in it?
Yeah.
And I think... So dating apps for me I 100% understand that some people need dating apps because it's their way of getting out there. It's a way of putting themselves across because they might not come across well in first meeting people.
Mine's not so much for that. Mine's like, I don't actually always know where I would meet people. Yes, I do go out with my friends, but when I'm out with my friends, I'm not out on the pull. And I also would very much cringe at like having to go up and being like, so anyway, are you single? Whereas on a dating app, you know they're single because they're on a dating app.
Yeah, and I think, but then also then, throwing that, when we've been out in Manchester Gay Village, then you experienced being out with me in Manchester Gay Village.
My favourite night. Yeah. We need to do that more.
No, we don't.
Please, I loved it.
And honest, people
were like, you were like shit, and people were flies.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's your arms. Lesbians love a good arm.
My arms are covered.
She had like this racer front tank top on, and Lauren's got these gorgeous like women toned arms. And you were just throwing them around, and I saw people, checking you out.
I'm not a piece of meat.
You are. In the village you are.
So this is the thing, when we go to lesbian dating, you are fresh meat to people, and this is what I don't like. That obviously I'm not saying that straight people are different, but they are.
Yeah.
They are different. You are fresh meat. So when you first came onto the gay scene, when you came out all those years ago now, you were fresh meat. When I first came out at 17, when I was at a football club and someone touched my leg and I realised I was gay, that I was then fresh meat.
You're gay awakening.
And then I no longer want to be fresh meat. I would like to decide what.
You want to be mutton.
I do not want to be mutton. I feel it's steak. I'm fillet steak.
Are you
And I
filet
absolutely
mignon?
back myself as well with it. And I think that's, but then, you start getting into all these things of when you start dating women, there's a lot of, like we've said this before, there's a lot of conversations. When you're gay, you have to have a lot of straight up conversations because when straight people are together, they'll go, you're a man, I'm a woman. That means I give, you receive. This is where we are.
Yes, right. Yeah, this is a good point, actually.
These are your roles. This is your not. Like, if you're a man, you're going to have been with women before and you've been with another woman. If you're a woman, you're going to have been with men before. This is your next man.
Yeah.
However, when you are a gay woman or a gay man, for instance, I have quite a few gay friends, that very early on, you have to have a conversation of what's what.
You have to have a conversation of who's the postman and who's the post box.
Well, I mean, I've never heard terminology like that. Tessa's terminology literally just blows my mind.
Right? It's a good analogy.
Young gay, dinosaur gay.
No,
We've had this conversation.
good person at giving metaphors, person that isn't that good at describing things.
Well,
is how I would say
Well, I
it.
mean, you could have just said
Give and receive.
who's the Don top and who's not.
Yeah.
And I think that, but then there's
But sometimes people's energy gives off.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I don't look
You
at
are not a Don top. You are a Don not. That's what you are, a Don not.
Lauren, I don't look at you and think, pillow princess.
I am not. So we're going into this, and then when you get into it, so basically, very early on, you have to have a conversation of, because you have givers and receivers, you have touch me nots,
And then you have switches.
Then you have
Sorry, we
they're
need,
called
to tell, we
versatile.
need to tell people that are straight what like a touch me not, a pillow princess, all this stuff is, right?
We also need to go into, because there is the gold standard hierarchy of being a gay woman.
Right.
What is that?
You mean gold star lesbians?
What's a gold star lesbian?
Right. A gold star lesbian is someone that's never slept with a man.
And they apparently, they would
Ever.
frown upon us
Yeah.
being...
Who've dipped a toe. We've dipped, well,
You've dipped toes.
I dove.
You dove. I was with them, didn't like it, went to women.
Yeah. Okay, so there's different types. So this is when you're talking about like sexual compatibility with your lesbian partner, if this ever comes up in
Well, I
conversation.
hope the lesbian if you're going with a woman.
Yeah. Well, maybe some of them are the Q in LGBTQ, which
Yeah,
is
that's true.
questioning.
They.
Yeah, they. Yeah. So the hierarchy goes. So there's something called a pillow princess, which basically just means what it says on the tin, where
Yeah.
you just lie on your back and you just receive.
Yeah.
Basically. And then there's something on the opposite end of the spectrum called a touch me not, which I actually feel like sometimes, in fact, I can't say that because it's too controversial, but I think there's more deeper rooted issues if you're a touch me not, because I think,
Do you know, I think sometimes, though, it's one of them where, like, there is so many sexual preferences out there.
yeah, but what,
That's
never
just
be
theirs.
touched?
Yeah, but they still like to touch people.
Oh yeah, they still touch.
I mean,
Sorry,
in an
yeah, you're right.
appropriate way, by
you're
the way. I
right.
don't
Yeah,
just mean-
we mean in a sexual way, not just like.
I don't mean in any other way, dear God.
Yeah, so there's a touch me not, and you tend to find typically that those girls are a bit more like masculine, butch presenting, aren't they?
Yes.
And then you kind of have like a dominant top, which means that they will receive sometimes, but generally they like to give.
Yeah.
And then you have like a switch, which is like,
It's not a switch, it's called versatile.
no, that's in the gay man community, Lauren. You actually need to read up on your lesbian pop
Oh my
culture.
God, I swear to
It's
God,
called
it's
a
called
switch.
versatile.
Guys, it's called a switch.
What's a switch?
Switch, you switch it up. Boom, boom.
Like that with your hands. Did anybody see that action? Absolute.
Then you've got scissor sisters.
Gun fingers.
You've got scissor sisters in the lesbian community. I've made that one up
You made
just to
that
see
up.
your reaction. No, but there's lipstick lesbians.
Yeah.
What are they?
The grey women that look so offensively straight, it's crazy.
Yes, they are. They look very like trout pout,
Yeah.
lash extensions, fake tits. They would look typically very like straight.
Yeah, and I think that's the other end of the spectrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think in gay men, obviously, not the, like other types of like bears, cubs, masters, puppies,
Yeah,
twinks, Don tops.
twinks, otters. Yeah,
What is an otter?
So in the hierarchy of gay men, theirs is more based on looks rather than what they're doing sexually. Because in my friend Joe, who we all know,
Yeah.
infamous Joe, he says that when he's chatting to men, sometimes you'll just put like T or B ? Or sometimes people say
Yeah.
that they're a V.
I think gay men are a lot more
or bottom?
direct than what women are. Women are more soft to approach it, whereas men are like, are you this or are you not?
I'm not that soft to approach it because I obviously in my first ever lesbian relationship was a pillow princess,
you
not
was.
by choice.
Yeah, but you didn't know about any of this.
No, I
You
didn't.
just-
And I remember the person that I was with was literally like, yeah, so you're the girly one, so that's your role. So I thought that that was the norm.
I know, because remember we had this conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that your energy gives it like everything. Like I feel like when you meet people, you would know if they're your energy or not.
Yeah.
Like, as you get I say, I don't mean more gay, but as you get more into your gay journey,
Yeah.
you start to pick up on it. You've thought this as in over the years.
Yeah.
You start to understand who's what's right. You see someone and go, oh yeah, they're not going to be my type. The
Yes.
different leagues that we're in, who
Different
we can,
leagues,
who we
yeah.
can play with, who we can date, who we can talk to, who we can not.
Yeah.
And I think that is like a major part in the gay world, that stay in your own lane.
Yeah, but I am direct with it now, as in like just referencing again back to the dating apps. I do ask that question, not straight away. But if I was like building up a bit of a rapport with somebody, I'd make sure that they weren't a touch me not.
Yeah, but then the other thing is, and I think it's very open that anybody who isn't gay, thinking about being gay, has just come out in that journey that there is all different types.
Yeah.
It's not, don't do a test and just think there's pillow princesses.
I thought that was the norm, and then I got with somebody else after that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, where have I been my whole life? And it was all just very new and exciting, and I got involved in that one. And
You did, heavily.
Never been back.
You've not, no, but that's good.
Yeah, that is.
And-
So yeah.
And I think the whole thing with gay dating is that like it's very intense.
Why is it so intense, do we think, to women? Because men are more nonchalant.
I know, but I think gay men are just as intense because you're of the same.
Do you think?
Yeah, gay men are
See,
intense.
again,
I mean, they're a lot more promiscuous.
they're more promiscuous sexually for sure, but like from some of my close gay friends, like I'll be like, oh, you're texting somebody, and they're like, yeah, and then I'll speak to them 3 days later and they're like, oh, I'm not really that arsed. Because men, I don't think, are as arsed about the settling part, whereas women, that's inherently our genetic makeup. We want to nest.
We want to be loved and cared for.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We love chasing red flags. That's a really good one of ours to do.
And we've both chased those in the past.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to learn it. I think that and then you have to spend some time on your own, away from the intensity and away from things that you think you might want.
Yeah.
Face your consequence of your actions, all them things. And
Yeah.
I think that when you go, like, I think the only advice that I can give is that when it's right, it is easy.
Yeah.
You see it, you read about it, you see when people have made it so, but like, yeah, they are hard and you've got to work at them, but in the beginning, it should be so easy.
Yeah.
It should be so easy and natural and no conversations about random stuff that
Yeah.
are not necessarily needed. But it doesn't take away but that shouldn't take away the intensity. It's more the intensity of trying to rush something, which is what gay people do. I feel like sometimes they're panicked that I'm going to be on, like, I'm 33, nearly 34. What are you?
31.
40. 40?
And
I think so. And I think that, gay people, like, there's a thing about having kids and what they're going to do. And it's like panic to be with someone,
Yeah.
people like you've come out later in life. So you're now like looking for a partner. And I think that people go, oh my God, I've met someone, emergency, let's call the alarm. Let's be with this person forever. I've spoke to them for a week. We're married next week.
Yeah, but I also think that, and this is maybe me revealing one of my toxic traits, is that I actually like being in love.
Yeah,
So
you
to
do,
me
yeah.
as well, like, yes, I'm an absolute advocate for like being on your own and spending some time healing, which I have done in the past, like, and I've really, really gone to a very dark place,
have.
as you call it. And I've just been like fucking sat and looked at myself and been like, right, what do I want? Stop doing everything for them. Stop doing everything for this. But then at the same time, I'm at my happiest when I'm like in love and being loved and giving love in return.
I know, but would you say you love yourself more than that
what?
person, than
Than
the person
love?
that you've been with?
Yeah, I do now.
Do now, but
Yeah.
when you were with them.
No, and I actually think that this was a big shift for me when I did start dating women compared with men, because I had a big look at myself. Because when I dated men, I did a lot of everything for their gratification, not just sexually, just like whatever they said, I did. Like they said jump, I said how high. They said, oh, I'm really into this in bed, me too.
Do you know what I've just started laughing at?
What?
I thought lesbian dating now, when women start to date, they become one.
Yeah, but that's normal.
It's strange.
Well, I know what you're
I'm
referencing.
a real advocate for not doing that.
Yeah, you've kind
that's
of
an
had
ick for me.
You've
That's
had a
an ick.
couple of dalliances, haven't you, where
do you
they've
mean?
started to emulate your entire personality, wardrobe, and
Yeah.
look, and you've hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in like people that Lauren has dated in the past. You've told me about them, and then you were
Yeah.
like, and then all of a sudden they started wearing my outfits.
Yeah.
Not like stealing your clothes. I mean, like
Yeah.
copying your exact look.
Yeah, I feel like it's really hard because I think when women are gay, you also get a best friend as well as a partner and all these things. Not a best friend, because I've been with some people that have not been my best friend 100%, but I've been very close to them because they are that person to you. And then, you admire the way they look, what you look like. But there's only ever been one person that I've been that way about and no one else.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
actually.
like literally one person.
Yeah.
And I think that other people. Obviously, you know, it's a compliment that people want to look like you and be you and things like that. But I'm like, be your own woman, honey.
Yeah.
Please be your own woman.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to meet people, you meet them for who they are, and then they
I'd
start
love to look like you, but I don't want to do the 16 years worth of weight training and consistent dieting to do it.
to be this way.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that, like, you know, you've been guilty of it.
Have I?
I feel like at points, did you ever go out in like similar matching outfits with any of your exes?
No.
No.
I think I'm a leader.
Oh, right, okay.
And they.
Right, okay. You're the leader of the pack.
Because I've had some people copy me. And that's all right, you know.
Yeah, it does happen. It's just a thing for me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
be your own woman, be your own person. I've got a thing about it.
Totally get that.
Don't know if that's right or wrong. But I think that, like, as women, like, having a backbone, being your own woman, understanding who you are more so, and I understand in your early 20s and, you know, even in your later 20s.
Meant to get it wrong.
Yeah, you meant to get it wrong. You know, were some horrendous thing. God, I remember coming out and wearing string vests and straight leg jeans.
What's a
Straight leg jeans are actually back in
What's a
fashion.
string vest?
Like a little strappy vest number.
What's wrong with that?
Listen,
Lauren, I'm not being funny. You've
I
told me to
remember
get...
wearing, you won't remember when gay women used to wear Decathlon pumps.
No.
Oh, right, well.
Because I'm spring chic-on.
Yeah, so there was Decathlon pumps, straight leg jeans. And do you remember Topshop when they used to do them vests?
Yeah, them little camis.
Yeah, little cami number.
Yeah.
But the long ones, the ones that really fit ugly on your waist. Yeah, there was a real fash hun.
When did you really find your style?
So basically, when I first came out when I was 17, I would say, I was led to believe by my first girlfriend that you are like, if you don't look gay, no one's gonna know. Right. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, but I don't have to be like that. And they were like, oh no, you do. And I was honestly led to believe that I had to look a certain way, be a certain way, and like look very masculine. And
were you very tomboy then at one point?
Yeah,
Were you?
But I weren't when I was straight. When I was with my boyfriend, I wasn't tomboy. Like I played football, but I was like the straight girl on the team. Like I didn't dress like, you know, any different way.
Yeah.
And then when I came out and like my like girlfriend at the time when I was 17 was like, this is what you do. And then obviously like at the time girls that played football were very butch and everybody looked this way. And then it was like reinforced. And then you went out in the gay village. And then if you ever tried to look nice, like I say look nice or like wear a
feminine.
If I wore heels, they'd be like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Oh no, I don't like that.
And then it was like, it transitioned to me going out in trainers, which is, you know, and training, but like going out in pumps and straight like jeans and like, like people were out in hoodies. Do you know what I mean? It's not for me. With no makeup on and straight hair with a really non-straightened madness going on. And I went into this thing and then I was like, this cannot be me. And my mum used to really argue with me and be like, you know, and I was like, no, but if I want to meet someone, mum, I'm a beacon.
If I want to meet someone, I need to get a badge that says
I'm a lesbian.
Right.
And I was like a full lesbian at this point. And my mum
Have
was
you told
like,
your mum?
What?
That you were gay?
Yeah, I told her before I came out. Like,
was she fine about it?
No.
Oh, this is something else we should talk about, coming out journeys.
So I think my coming out journey was more the fact of like, so my mum was like, she has gay friends. She understands what the community's like. She'd understand it can be quite vicious and it can be quite isolating where you think that, you know, you're going to come out and you're going to join this community and it's amazing and people are gay and woo.
Yeah.
It's really not like that.
No.
You know, you have to find your tribe. You're not allowed to speak to other people.
It's the trenches at times.
You're not allowed to speak to other people. You can't cross boundaries and things like that. And I just think that I went into the magical gay world thinking, oh my life, this is me.
Yeah.
The song could have played then, my favourite song from Greatest Showman. And then went into this journey and obviously wasn't great, dressed like really, really butch is what I would call it. Really didn't look myself.
That's mad to me because you're so sensual now.
Oh, like an absolute bag of dicks, if I'm honest, if I look at pictures now. And then I remember meeting some other gay people in Liverpool, a group of girls, and they were like, you're going to come out with us next week. And I was like, no, these are my friends. And they were like, no. Next week you with us. And I was like, oh, fair dues. They were like, and don't wear that. This is what you'll wear. Oh. So then I got zooped up. I went back to the old Lauren.
Did you go up a league?
Oh, yeah. I had, you know, jeans, leather jacket. Oof, I was like the fucking...
Is this when you went to like Gran Canaria Pride and you did all that stuff?
This was before that.
Right.
But yeah, no, so Gran Canaria Pride, I was really in my fields of finding who I am. But at that point, I'd met someone that like I think changed the game for me. And I think that my friends were like, you can be feminine, you don't have to be this, like you can wear a full face of makeup, you can wear lipstick. I'd never seen a lesbian with lipstick on.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And then there was these people that I'd see in the clubs and they were different, but they wouldn't speak to anybody else. Like they were very feminine and like looked amazing. Everybody would be like, don't talk to them. Don't even look at them. Because they're the prem. And I was like, and I'm not the prem right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
The fact that you weren't in the prem.
Listen,
The way that I've known you, I thought you founded the prem.
No, and then I was like, then I started to understand it, you know, this ex of mine, like, who was amazing at the time, but then like when we broke up and I started to like grow, she tried to
Clip your wings.
clip my wings and be like, no, you're this, that, and the other, and you look a certain way, and da-da-da. And I was like, all right, okay. And then found my feet and met someone that was like a proper woman. And this is where my love for women came in.
Yeah, because you really do have a
Saran
type.
Jones.
Yeah.
Mish Keegs.
Yeah,
all
Lauren's
that.
type is very like suit and heels, power woman vibe. Like,
Bette Porter.
sure.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh my God, you've never watched The L Word. I can't even believe this.
Is this a lesbian thing?
Yes, lesbian program, yeah.
Is it?
You need to watch it. You're going to absolutely love it.
Well, I love it as much as Gentleman Jack.
Oh my God, even more.
Will
Like,
I?
I reckon about 1,000 times more.
Lauren puts me onto all these lesbo series. It's really good.
And so then I think that I went into that journey. And like, you know, my journey with my family was really hard because at the time I wasn't being me. I'd become this person that was like, I need to tell everybody I'm gay, otherwise no one's ever going to know. I'm never going to meet anybody. Because essentially, if you look at a woman, you would assume they're straight. So they have a boyfriend or they're looking for a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So at what point does it change where you come out as gay?
What did you actually say to your mum? Do you remember?
I was really upset about it because I was like, I knew that there would be
Disappointment.
not disappointment that like my mum was never, when we've spoke about it later on, my mum was so scared for me. She was like petrified of me like losing part of me, which I did, you know, in the beginning. And obviously
Yeah.
I've like fought, and I'd say I only got to like, I'd say I really found myself again when I was like, it took like maybe 5 years after coming out to find who I was and, you know, getting in that stage, like that status of where I could be okay with it.
Yeah.
That like I was in a phase where it was like, I need to tell everybody I'm gay, otherwise I'm literally never going to meet anyone. Because how does that change? Like I said, like, how do you go from being a woman where everybody assumes that you need a boyfriend or you've got a boyfriend,
Yeah.
to coming out as gay, to people knowing that you're gay?
Yeah.
Like if you actually do anything or tell people. And then all of a sudden it was like,
So you were upset, but what did you just say to your mum? Like, Mum, I think...
I was like, Mum, got something to tell you. I was like, I'm gay. And
Thinking
she was
about little Lauren doing that honestly makes me want to
I know,
cry.
and it was just like, and it's one of them things though where like your mum's trying to explain to like, this is not the same, like people are going to treat you differently, they're going to speak to you differently, they're not going to be, and they weren't, they did treat me differently. Like, you know, you say to someone, oh, I'm gay, and they're like, don't worry about it, and I'm like, what am I worried
It's
about?
your identity.
Yeah, and I think, but it's also not like I have this thing, like we've had this conversation, like you want to speak about being gay, and for me it's nothing, like it's a big thing, but it's also a nothing thing. Like I don't speak to people about being gay.
It's
I am
been a
who I
big
am.
part of my life journey, though.
Yeah.
As in of figuring out who I am. So maybe it's not so much that I'm trying to be like, that's my personality trait, but it's a big factor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've told my gay awakening story on the pod before.
Yeah.
But
Tomb Raider.
yeah, I'm actually still friends with the person that I had a gay awakening with. Shout out Jade. Yes, I'm friends with a girlfriend now. No, nothing happened, and we're all wonderful friends now.
That's a surprising gay world.
Yeah, so basically, me and Jade worked together at a festival, and I'm from like a small town. Like you're from like nearer a big city where there was probably like a lot of gay people.
No, I was from a village and I was the only gay in it.
Ah, hey.
Hey.
So yeah, so same as me. So like the only lesbians that I'd maybe seen had like a short back and sides and like a Winnie the Pooh tattoo and 20 hoop earrings in each ear. So I used to think, I'm not that into sleeping with men. Sorry, Mum. I'm not that into sleeping with men, but I know I'm not that. So it didn't really necessarily occur to me straight away. But like with my ex-boyfriend that I had before I made the transition, like I didn't want to sleep with him. The transition, yeah. Over to the real me.
Yeah.
I never wanted to sleep with him. I actually went through a phase of thinking that I was asexual because he'd be like, God, we've not had sex in 2 months. And I'd be like, I know, it's been bliss. And then he'd be like, we'll do it tonight. And I used to think, oh, right, I'll have 10 drinks before we do it.
It's really mad to be in that place with someone, isn't it? When it's
Yeah.
like, you're so feared of coming out.
Yeah.
And I think that like, I was 17, I was in a place where like, I felt safe where like I'd never been around gay people before, and then I joined a football team, as
Yeah.
we said last time. And I think it's different, isn't it? Because like when you start to feel something for someone, Like, if you really want to, you will.
I didn't even understand my feelings though. So so I became friends with my friend. She was a security guard at this festival that we were working at, and she was very like Lara Croft vibes. Like she had like a high pony, and she was tatted, and she was slim and cool and trendy. And I was just like, "So are you a lesbian?" Because I thought it was just an embarrassing word to say. Clearly at the time, and she was like,
me now.
And she was like, yeah, of course I'm gay. Yeah, I fucking love it. And I was like, God, she just owns it. Like, she's so cool. And I was just besotted by her. Like, I can't explain it any other way than that. She just made me feel some kind of way. And then we'd like text as friends, and I used to think like, but what else?
I think about I absolutely, anybody that's gay and absolutely fucking owns it. Like, I think, do it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think like it is part of it, and it does need to change it. And I think they're like, everybody owns it, and I own it in a very different way to everybody else because of just the way that I am, and you own it in a very different way to me. Yeah. But that, like you said, your journey was so different. Like, I've been gay now. You've been
gay since the dawn of time.
17 years.
Yeah.
I think like this year I'll have been gay longer than I've been straight.
This year you'll have been gay as long as some of the people go into like their first pride or just coming out in the village. Yeah. Oh, dinosaur.
That is so old.
Oh, no, love it.
I love
Embrace
it.
the journey.
Love it.
But yeah, so after I'd met Lara Croft, aka Jade, my friend, who I'm still friends with, I just switched my Tinder to both, and I just didn't really tell anybody.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell my friends. Switched my Tinder to both, and then I actually remember really exposing myself here. I went on a night out in Manchester, and in my mind, I just thought, whatever happens, I need to sleep with a woman tonight because that'll decide it for me. And I did. And it was fucking random. And then I rang Liv the next morning and I went, guess what I did last night? And I told her and she was like, what the hell? And then that was it.
Can we just talk about going out on nights out in the gay village for the listeners?
I didn't meet this woman in the gay village. I just met her in the regular club, which is Road. And then I was like, how it came about actually was like, I ended up chatting to her and I was just like, yeah, well, I'm going through this thing at the minute where I don't know if I'm into women. And she was like, I've always wanted to try it. And then that was it.
That is honestly,
I'm just
that is so abnormal to me to have that conversation with a woman.
Yeah, and then two straight women went at it. You can only imagine what that was like.
What this is what this.
I can't believe I just told that stuff.
Do you know what's even more?
This is from the vault.
I was just going to go into and just say then, what is... And let's see if you remember these things. What are the 3 pieces of advice I gave you going out in the gay village? Go on.
I don't have to tell people that we're not together because they'll know because you're in the Prem and I'm not.
Yeah, and you considered to tell numerous people until I told you.
I told 2 people, right. We would be like walking down the gay village together and then I was almost saying it as like a witty anecdote though because we'd see people that you knew and then you would like, oh, this is Tess by the way, and I'd be like, not her girlfriend, I know what you're thinking, ha ha ha. And then Lauren eventually went, stop fucking saying that because people know, all right? And I was like, all right, sorry, it's just a joke. Yeah, so that was the first piece of advice. Second piece of advice was don't neck random lesbians because they're always...
Or anyone.
They're always involved with somebody else. But there was that one time where I got 3 different lesbians chasing me around Vanilla and then I ended up having to run away because one of them threatened me.
Yeah.
What was the third thing? Can't think.
It was don't chat to random people.
Why? That's who I am.
I know it is.
I love making friends.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, but do you make friends?
Well, sometimes, and then sometimes they fancy me.
Oh, do they? Is that what happens? See, I don't talk to anybody when I'm out in the gay village.
Lauren. Their eyes aren't painted on, Lauren.
I really don't talk to anybody in the gay village, other than friends, obviously.
But I think that's what gives you the woof. Because I saw how people looked at you that night. Arms out, leather punts sprayed on those legs, boots, you, cutting shapes.
You've got to give off the unavailable vibe.
Dribbling. Do you not remember as well, we saw those people having like an argument and I kept looking, you were like, stop looking, you never look at lesbians arguing. Yeah. And I was like, right.
Do you know what you remember that about that night?
I kept peering like, oh.
Do you know what I remember about that night? My feet sticking to the floor.
Oh, I loved that.
My feet sticking to the floor. And it was disgusting.
Queens of the Ville. Well, that's all I wanted. I wanted to talk about dating, but we've actually gone into like a gorgeous little gay journey.
Yeah.
Which is, do you know what? I'm surprised that you were as willing to talk about that because I know that you don't like that to be your only...
Honestly, the thought of talking about dating makes my arsehole go...
Why?
Don't know.
Okay.
I think I've had a very different dating experience in life to most people, but also through choice.
Yeah. I know you've been through the mud before, haven't you, hon?
I think it's one of them where like, I think that you meet people and you feel a certain kind of way about them.
Yeah.
And I think that like, when you've met someone that you really love, you've just met that person. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's everything else is just a bit different. Like everything else is just a bit of an experience to get where you're going.
My only sad part for you, I'd say, like, since we've known each other and we have had some real deep conversations about everything in between love, you know, relationships and all that stuff, is that I think that you had some negative experiences in your younger life, and I don't want that to harden you, because once you know you and the barrier comes down, you're actually one of the most sincere, gentle, sweet and loving people ever. But you obviously feel like you have to be Lauren the brick wall sometimes.
Yeah, I think do you know what, when you're younger and you're dating with people and then you know, when you don't get chosen.
Yeah, rejection.
I think it's not even rejection. Like, rejection is like when someone says no. People didn't say no. You just chose someone else.
Right, okay.
And
it's still rejection,
It's still rejection, but
Yeah.
as in like, that's what it is. And I think that just changes the way that you are about things. And I think that like, I think that like, no one ever intentionally means to hurt someone. I don't think that, I would like to think that people don't do that. I mean, some people are absolute CUNTs, but that's just one of them things.
Yeah.
But I think that when you go about it, and I think that like, I'm a brick wall, and I just believe that people, like even friends, relationships, anything, only certain people deserve my energy because I know how different it is to most people. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's a thing. But then essentially that can come across as very, very harsh sometimes.
Yeah, we've had a discussion about this recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And I think that like, I am a big bundle of love.
You are. You really are.
But it's very that I choose that the people I love the most deserve that, because I think that at times with people, when you're dating and you're dating the wrong type of person, it can really drain your energy.
It can drain your energy in the rest of your life, as in like, even recently, obviously, I've had a relationship experience where like when things weren't going too great there, it affected my other friendships and stuff like that, because I wasn't bringing like my best self to the thing. And then you compare that with lesbian relationships and everything we've just said about how they're so intense. It's like if you were going through that in a standard relationship, which I have been through, I used to almost be able to gulp it a bit more. But now, especially like fucking lesbian breakups, my God, they consume me.
If you survive your first one,
I'm
you're
engulfed in my tears and feelings, aren't I?
Yeah, and I think that's part of it, that like, you know, you get engulfed in these situations, you get emotional about them, and I think that there's a journey to go on, but it's all through self-control. Like, I think that I've been in situations where someone's really drained my energy, and that was a choice, but it took other people to go, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this isn't you.
Yeah.
And it's only so many times that people will stick around for that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your friends are going to warn you, they're going to warn you again, and then they'll warn you again. And in the end, they have enough.
Yeah.
And then it's down to you to choose the right thing. But it's like that, if you haven't got the right person, you will know. It's just whether you've got the balls. And I'm just in a place now, and I've been for, you know, quite a long time, that like, unless it's easy and it's everything, then it's not going to be anything else. And my energy stays at this level.
Unless it's everything, it's not going to be anything.
Yeah, and I think that, like, you know, my energy at this level, it's consistent. If I'm drained, it's because of work and not because some cunt's messing around. And it's them things where I think that people do, and I think everybody goes through it in the 20s. And, you know, I'm sitting from like a person that's learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting here being like, I've never learned any lessons and I'm 21 trying to give it you. I'm able to say all these things
from a place of like actual experience.
Yeah, and then, but also like a lot of it was me.
What,
like,
you were the problem?
Like, not that I was the problem, but a lot of it was my choice.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you allowed.
You choose to say, you choose to allow certain things. And that's with everything, though, isn't it? It's like friendships, when, you know, friendships, relationships, whichever it is. And I think, like, that's, as you start to become your own person, you learn who you are, which you have done, like, amazingly over the last, like, 18 months, haven't you?
Lauren. With your guidance, Lauren.
Yeah, but you've also become self-regulated.
I'm getting there. It's still a work in
still a journey.
progress. Yeah. But yeah, and I think that this has actually been very insightful, and I just know it's going to help a lot of people.
I hope so.
Coming from your two lesbian big sisters.
Dear God.
Lauren, it's okay.
It is okay.
It's all right.
Well, yeah, being gay is okay.
Yeah, it is. So if you're stuck in the claws, come out and join us.
Come out and join us.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.